What is up, y'all? Hope you guys are all doing well. I know that I have not been quite as active on my YouTube channel lately. I've been a little bit active on Instagram, but I've really been trying to focus in and, I'm just 100% focused on getting funded. So I haven't been really making a lot of videos or even worrying about making videos or content for YouTube because I've just been focusing on my number one goal, which is to be funded by the end of the year. And I'm definitely going to do it, but, of course, there's going to be hiccups along the way. So I'm just trying to really dial in instead of worrying about like making videos and stuff like that. But I do have an update for you guys today on my 100K challenge and my 50K challenge. The 100K challenge I'm taking is with Fortune's funding, and then the 100K challenge I am taking is with the funded trader. So unfortunately, I lost the 100K challenge. I ended up breaching the account, and I'll get into the dashboard of both of these accounts, later in the video after this intro. But I was doing really well on the account, and then it was one trade that lost me the account, and I'll get into it a little bit later once we get into the dashboard exactly what happened. But it was a mistake that was a really dumb mistake. It definitely could have been avoided, so I take complete responsibility for it. But also it was one that, I really just wasn't expecting and I wasn't prepared for. So I know you guys are probably like, what even happened? Yeah, I'll tell you guys once I get into the dashboard. But the 50K challenge, I ended up reaching the 35-day, I think it was 35 days time limit. I bought the challenge before TFT released the no time limit, so I was still up on the account, so I got the retry, the free retry. So I have a brand new 50K account, and this one has no time limit, so I'm also really hyped about that. Since they changed that rule, the time limit rule, after I bought the challenge and started trading on it the first time, whenever I reached the max days and didn't reach the profit target, so I got the free retry. The free retry does have the no time limit since they've changed that, which is really nice. So I can definitely take my time, only take A+ setups. So definitely want to get into these dashboards for you guys and kind of explain what's going on. I hope you guys are having, a good trading. Let me know how August was for you guys. For me, it was very hit or miss. I've seen some people killing it in August, and I see some people saying they hated August and they just want it to be over. So I'm hoping for Q4 coming up that it will really start picking up, and we're off the tail end of summer, school starting back, which school starting back doesn't have anything to do with trading, but just the time of year wise, where summer months can sometimes be very slow or just not a lot of momentum in the markets. So I'm hoping Q4 will pick it up, and I'll start seeing a lot more of my setups to be able to take, because there's been weeks that I've only taken one trade, two trades a week, which I'm fine with that. I'm patient enough now to where I only wait for my A+ setups, or at least A setups, and take them. So especially with the no time limits, I'm really taking my time. So it's just taking a lot longer. But my end goal is to be funded. So if this is the route I have to take, then that's the route I have to take. But let's go ahead and get into these dashboards for you guys. Subscribe if you guys have not already. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I appreciate you guys, giving a like and following me if you guys want to continue seeing how I do on my journey. I also do try and teach a little bit about my setups. So if you're interested in supply and demand setups, or if you're interested in higher time frame setups, which right now is mainly what I've been trading, 4-hour, 1-hour daily confluences, be sure to subscribe and give me a like. I appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get into these dashboards. All right, y'all, so let's go ahead and get into the dashboards of these accounts. So I actually ended up, as you notice, I changed. This is the next day. I recorded this part yesterday, but for some reason the software I use, it didn't upload properly, so having to re-record this part, but all good. So this is my 100K account with Fortune's funding. As you can see, I failed the account, like I mentioned, but I wanted to get in the dashboard and kind of go over the equity curve and kind of what happened. So as you can see here, started out flat, took a loss for the first trade, and then slowly started building it up. This is the slow growth that you want to usually see right here. Not any big erratic movements like this big downturn when I lost it. You just want to see slow growth up, you know, maybe some divots back down, but just slowly growing back up, having that positive equity curve, right? That's what you want. So I ended up getting this account to about 3.5% in profit, and I needed 9% to pass. And there was no time limit on this one, so I had plenty of time. Now let's go ahead and get into what happened here to make me fail this challenge. So again, I'm taking full responsibility for failing this challenge. I'm not saying, oh, you know, the rules or they did it on purpose, you know, anything like that. I'm taking full responsibility for the failure of it, you know, and all we can do is live and learn. So I definitely have tweaked some things based on this. But so I've traded Ethereum before on a funding challenge before, and it was like the contract size is different than Forex and indices. And I remember taking a trade and I wanted to risk like 1%, and I entered like, you know, at first I just entered like one lot, and it was like way under leveraged. So I entered like 5 lots, and it was still under leveraged. I ended up like 15 to 20 lots was like the proper risk, just to risk like 1% on the trade. So I knew that I had to use more lots for cryptos. But one thing I didn't realize was that Bitcoin and Ethereum have different contract sizes. I thought they were going to be the same. So I saw this trade on Bitcoin last Friday, and it was a buy off of a 4-hour trend line and structure. Looked really good. And I took the trade and I put 4 lots thinking, okay, even 4 lots is going to be under leveraged, so I can always add more positions if needed. Turns out Bitcoin has a different contract size, so 4 lots was actually over leveraged. So once I put my risk to reward tool, I was like, dang, I'm gonna either lose 5%, which would lose the account for the day, right? 5% drawdown, that hits your daily max drawdown. Or if it wins, I'm gonna pass the challenge. So I'm like, dang, like what I should have done right then and there is just close out the trade and either enter again with a, you know, proper risk with a way scaled down lot size, or just stayed out of the trade, just exited the trade and then just let that one go. But I was like, for some reason, I was just like, you know what, I'm going to try it. All these confluences match up. If it wins, I'm going to pass the challenge, right? And I wasn't doing this. I didn't go into this trade thinking that it was going to be like risking the whole account. But once it happened, I just let it happen. And I was like, I'm just going to let it play out. I was coming off of wins. So I was like, you know what? Let's see what happens here. And then, of course, that's the trade that loses. As I don't know if you guys remember, but last Friday, if you guys follow a bunch of traders or even people in the crypto space, all the cryptos just tanked on Friday. So Bitcoin just tanked through that trend line, and I ended up losing the account, which, you know what, it's all good. In hindsight, I know that I should have just exited that trade as soon as I realized how over leveraged it was. So it was my fault 100%. I'm not saying it was anyone else's fault, but that is what happened. But as you can see, I was doing really well up until then. So I know that I'm on the right path. It's just making those small tweaks. So I'm actually moving forward, not even going to trade any cryptos on funding. I'm just going to stick with Forex and then at the occasional, you know, NAS 100 trade, you know, indices a little bit, but mainly just Forex pairs. Just focus on that. Crypto, I'm just going to stay out of. I just don't want anything like that to happen again. I'm just not used to it. I'm not a crypto trader. So just gonna stay out of it for now. So that's what happened with the 100K with Fortune's funding. Unfortunate, but like I said, could have been prevented, and it will in the future. Will never happen again. I can guarantee you that. So now let's move to TFT. So I can move myself back down here. So this was my 50K Royal Challenge with TFT. So the Royal Challenge needs an 8% profit target. But I wanted to go over what happened here. So as you can see, I finished in profit with $123.73. So I started off this challenge going pretty well. I got, you know, over 1% in profit and then tanked down here. I don't even remember which trade this was. Obviously a big mistake here, but then slowly grew it back up. And then I bought this challenge before the time limit before there was no time limit for TFT, so now the funded trader has no time limits on all their challenges, but or at least on the Royal Challenge, but I bought it before. So I think I had like 35-day time limit on this one. So it was getting like, you know, a week before that time limit was going to be up. I had like 7 days left. And once I got it back in profit, you know, up 123 bucks, I was like, I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to risk blowing the account or being under that equity so I don't get the free retry. So I just let it ride out like the last week or so and ended up getting the free retry. So now I have a brand new 50K challenge with the funded trader, and this one has no time limit on it, which is really nice since they changed the rules. But also wanted to go over a little bit of, you know, stats here. So my win rate was 68% on this, loss rate 31%. So obviously this was a huge mistake here. Again, I'm not even, this was a month ago, so I'm not even sure which trade that was, but obviously probably over leveraged there. But the win rate is something that I'm focusing on here. I'm definitely like what that's looking like, 68% win rate. With my strategy, it's a 1 to 2, 1 to 3 risk reward minimums. I'm not doing any more 1 to 1s, anything like that. So it's definitely looking like I'm slowly making progress in the right direction, right? I'm getting a free retry. I'm not failing. I didn't fail the account. So slowly making that progress, making strides to profitability and towards getting funded, which is the goal. So let me know if you guys are funded, trade personals, anything like that. I'm always curious. But if you're new to the channel, again, I would love for you to subscribe, like this video if you got any value out of it, or if you want to just continue following me on this journey. My goal is to be transparent with y'all, 100% transparency, and show, you know, the realities of trading and trying to be a trader in Forex and get funded. You know, it's not the easiest thing in the world. And anyone that is like huge in the funding space would tell you that it's not easy. They fail a bunch of challenges too. No one is like making consistent payouts and has never failed a challenge before. I can guarantee you that. So it comes with it. This is part of the game. It stinks sometimes, but you know, it is what it is. All you can do is learn from your mistakes and continue progressing forward, right? So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like this video if you got any value out of it. Comment anything that you wish, any questions, any suggestions, any advice, anything. I always appreciate that and try to engage with y'all as much as possible. So I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.